Yes, Wagwan, what's going on? You're here at Algorythm Radio with me, MrBrunoJones, and we have the legend, the icon. He's an event organizer. He's a bad man behind the decks. Like literally, this guy is a titan in the Melbourne scene, and he's none other than Santerres. Yeah, oi, welcome to the Algorithm, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's too kind, bro.
No, it's just honest, isn't it? It's just honest.
I wish my ego thought of that, but I don't. Yeah.
No, bro, straight up, yeah. Like, I think I met you, I knew your movement that's going on, movement's wearetribe. Oh, wearetribe, yeah, trust me, search that up on socials. Yeah, it is a whole fucking vibe.
Thank you.
Legit, yeah, bro. It is a whole vibe. I see it on socials, I'm like, what's that? I said to Antagonize, I was like, yo, what is this? And he was like, bro, it goes off. Like,
I appreciate that, man. And that's basically why I started it, obviously, like, I want everyone to come to a place where they feel free and, it's all about the music, really, and where DJs can express themselves.
Yeah.
Because, at the moment, all venues that just want one particular flavor, where they're not really tapped in with, what's really out there in the global market,
Yeah.
We want to push that global sound, global dance music.
No, sick.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No, yeah, thank you.
The service here is great.
Yeah, big up Otis every time, sick venue.
Yeah.
And big up Darshan, every time.
Yeah, bad man.
So I first met you. Like I said, I saw the brand.
Yeah.
I heard about your movement. I felt the energy that you were trying to put out first.
Yeah.
And then I was at an event, Vivid Essence. Yeah, it was Vivid Essence. And my partner B, King B, was playing.
Yes.
And you walked in and she was like, no way, I went to school with him. I was like,
I know. It is really, it's so crazy when I see your missus. I look at her and I just get flashbacks from when I was like a 4-year-old at primary school, not having a friend, and then those girls and, the whole Joyce family used to look out for me, Samuel, Callie, Zig, all those boys looked out for me, Dwight. So, it's so it's full circle when I, see those boys and see, B and Mon,
It's funny because I didn't know you. And she said, oh, yeah, he runs wearetribe. And I was like, oh, sick. Like, it's mad how she's always knows somebody somewhere. And it's like, oh, I completely forgot that we went to school together and all this. I should have told you. That's what she said. I was
that's
like,
the Southeast thing, but everyone from the Southeast knows everyone. Like, it's crazy. Like, everyone as well from the South, like down ways and stuff like that. Everyone's doing something, which is, I take pride in that. I love that I'm from the Southeast.
I think for me, what I saw was community.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it's not that fashion thing that we see. I can imagine that you see it as well from other people using it as a fashion term. It's almost like the new shiny trainers, you know what I mean?
It is.
But when you see that, when I saw that, it's unbelievable, that love, the unity. When you mention it to Kelly, I met you the other day, and he's like, straight away you can feel the energy and the connection that you guys have. And that's so organic, and that's what I love about the culture that you represent and that you're trying to fight for. I love it. I love to watch it. I love to see it, and I can't wait to be a part of the next one. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for you to
just be in the audience, like,
I'm hoping it's going to be a crazy one, but I can't wait.
No, it's going to be sick. I saw you, met you, and then you played. And I was like, okay, bro. Straight up, straight up.
You, man.
I don't think I've had the opportunity away from the loudspeakers to actually say, respect, bro.
Thank you.
Love the flavor. I love the diversity. I love the no boxes element.
Yeah.
But it still represents that world sound. It still represents everything you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Salute, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's what I try to aim to do with my sets. Like, I don't have a clear direction with what I play.
Yeah.
I know, like, there's a few things that would work together. I have a good guide, but I always go, all right, maybe this might work, and then it works. Sometimes it's a fluke, sometimes it's a miss, but I think that's how I like to, like the way you described it, not being like in a box full of genres, like just one single genre. I think that I take pride in that. I like to bounce around in between stuff. Yeah.
I think it's sick because it's a language I speak. Even when you say it in there, like sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
And that's the joy in it. That's the spice right there. It's the little seasoning on it.
Yeah. It is. I mean, like, if you're gonna play things that are all the same, like, you know, it gets boring, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I used to do clubs, like frequent clubs, it's just like you're playing the same usual stuff and you're like, this is boring, you know? Like, so it's always good to, you know, tap into your bag and try something different every once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
100.
What was your favorite house tune and who's your favorite house producer? That's my question to you.
Dennis Ferrer.
Oh man, I love that guy.
Mind Your Step.
Oh
yeah,
that was my favorite song too.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, the way it transitions. It's like 4 tunes in one.
Oh man, and that last one goes.
Got goosebumps, bro.
Yeah, I love that tune. I remember when that whole Defected set, like Defected's been around for ages, but when they came down here officially, Sonny Federa.
Yeah.
I'm really big on house. I loved house. I still do. But I remember seeing Sonny Federa, and he dropped that. I was like, wow, what a song.
Yeah.
But
it's a journey, innit? No, bro, don't apologize. I love that transcendence. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I love about Dennis Ferrer is diversity.
Yeah.
Exactly the styles that we play and we go left, right, up, down. His production bag, you can pull out something random and different every single time, like P to the J.
Yeah,
you know that. But all of a sudden, I'm like, I got goosebumps again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like he's so amazing. Then he can do that real techie stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that about a producer.
Yeah.
Again, that linear stuff. I feel like for me, I just need to be in the right environment for someone to say, yo, I want to hear that you in your house bag the way that you want to play it.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's...
So that's why you got used to it and you couldn't be bothered.
Well, it's more where house has gone now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I feel like there's no diversity anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
And when you do play those diverse sounds, I don't think there's as much of a market for it.
Yeah.
And as a result, it's made me like, I don't want to conform to just playing that linear stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to keep it real to the whole, like, I want to play that Mind Your Step, and then I want to take it somewhere else. I want to play some of the old school bangers, that old deep house stuff, and then bring it to a tech house vibe and all that. Yeah. But it's more like, I feel like, especially in Melbourne, what I've discovered personally is it's all about your boxes. Like you're either deep house or your tech house or your minimal or your afro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to play I like to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I just feel like, because you don't get the appreciation or the ears don't understand it. Like, this ain't minimal. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
That's Melbourne for you as well. Like, I think that's the industry right now as well. If I really have to break it down, really think about how things have changed, because there's so much, like the access to music is so like, pick up your phone.
Yeah.
So people have like a choice to listen to. And I think they bring that attitude into the clubs.
Yes.
Yeah. They're not open to different things.
Yeah.
And you can blame streaming, you can blame whatever you want, SoundCloud or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like I can see why you would get frustrated by just playing just one type of flavor of house.
Yeah.
Sorry, this podcast is going to be full of tangents. Just letting you guys know, it's going to be tangent.
Yeah, literally. I feel like we're just going to spiral off. Like, that's what it's about, bro.
Let's keep it on track.
I've got a couple of questions for you,
Yeah, for sure, man.
And I think, first of all, something that I wanted to know is when was your first music bug experience? When did you realize, music's my thing?
Yeah. So it basically came from my uncles, really. My uncle was in a band, like a reggae band, and he still is to this day. So I've always been surrounded by music, hanging out at his house.
Yeah.
playing with his guitars, drum set, bass, everything. He had a full studio in his Endeavour Hills house, and I just gravitated to music so much, and I learned how to play drums, I learned how to play guitar. So from a very early age, that's where it really hit that, music was going to be a very big part of my life.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, when I found out what DJing was and how I could make a career out of it, I was like, oh, bet, I'm doing it, But yeah, that's basically where it started. It started from my family. Yeah.
No, sick. Do you still play drums and bass? Drums and guitar?
Yeah. I'll dabble in the guitar. Drums, obviously, who's got a drum kit around, but...
It's all electronic now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all electronic, yeah. But, play guitar here and there, like, show off to my son, Dad can play.
One thing we haven't touched on is the fact that you're actually a pretty sick producer. So you're DJing... So you got into DJing.
Yep.
Let's start there, and then we'll go into production.
Yeah. Okay.
So with your DJing, how did you start? Was it like, as in self-taught? Was it more tutorials? Did someone teach you?
So when I started, I didn't have equipment. I had cousins that did it, but they always lived far away. But for me, it started with... Do you remember a program on your computer called Virtual DJ?
Yeah, I used to use the left and right to do the crossfader. Yeah. Or 1, 2, and 3 for the crossfader, yeah.
And then you had the sampler and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my mate told me that, and I downloaded it, and I was like obsessed with it. And like back then, LimeWire was the thing, like you download tracks and then you put 2 to 2 together and stuff like that. But that started off, like, that was in high school-ish, and then, so I left, I was still in high school, so I was 17. I used to go to this bar called Lulu Bar.
Yeah.
And underage clubbing. And, I used to love this place. It was every Thursday night. It was a uni night, so to speak, and I used to go to the venue at like 7 o'clock, wait till they close the doors, and it turns into a nightclub at like after 9.
Yeah.
And the guards couldn't be bothered checking everyone's ID. So I used to hang out and, hang out there or hang in the toilets until they stopped doing checks.
Yeah.
Anyway, cut it a long story short, I got to know all the promoters there. And obviously the promoters there, Funky DJs.
Yeah.
They would, they're like, do you want to be a promoter? I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. I don't know what that is. I'm 17 years old. So, and then they used to say, come over our place, and then, we'll have meetings, and then those meetings turned to DJ sessions. And then I started to learn how to DJ, and I'm like, oh man, I'm actually getting it, Back then there was no such thing as tutorials or anything. Like, you had a mate that knew how to DJ.
Yeah, bro. And
And he would teach you, But that's basically how it all started for me, really. Like, hanging out with those guys and learning how to mix and blend. But I never had money to buy equipment or anything like that.
That's why you're preaching to the choir there, bro. Always using my friend's stuff.
Yeah, using your friend's stuff. And then it wasn't until, like, I got myself booked. That's when I decided, like, that's where I started to practice.
Yeah.
Like, I had my friends stuff to practice with, but I only see my friends here and there, like, not all the time, but I'll sneak myself into like a 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. set.
Yeah.
People having dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm DJing, and like, just imagine like a young 18-year-old DJing and you're eating, and him not knowing how to DJ, and like a shit mix would happen, and you'd be like, what the hell's going on? That was me, like, it was a real struggle. And the thing was as well, like, DJ equipment wasn't so accessible back then. These days, $150 you get a good controller.
Yeah. Preach, bro. Preach.
Back then you had to have a full mixer, CDJs, and they will run you like a $5,000 or whatever.
Well, we had vinyls. We didn't even have access to CDJs, bro. It was like you play with the vinyls you got. At one point we had 5.
Yeah.
And we're just rinsing them 5 just over and over again. Like, but you're right. You don't have access to like just going, what's that tune that you had? Yeah, 1 second, and then we start rinsing it.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It's crazy to think how accessible it is.
Yeah, it's different. It's different now, obviously.
Yeah.
Like it's mad because it brings up a lot of new DJs, like people who didn't know that they want to be DJs.
Yeah.
It brought them into the culture. But like back when we started, it wasn't like that. And you know, say it for what it is. You know, it's now sacred. You know, I don't know what
I find now there's DJs and then there's craftsmen. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of DJs out there that can like do weddings, they can do bars, they can do all that stuff. And then I'd say even this year, I think you're one of like probably 4 or 5 people I've come across that has like out of hundreds of DJs, you're like one of 4 or 5 that's a craftsman to me.
Thank you.
You're like a true mixologist. That's what I call it. That's my word for it. Mixologist. Mixology, I know it's like towards alcohol traditionally.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's the only way to explain it is when you're truly creating. You're actually creating. You're building something from nothing, and you're where should I go? And you're vibing, you're feeding off it. We go left, we go right, and then you grab it, pull it back, and then we go over there. And then there's elements of that, and I love that. I absolutely love that. So I think you can't hide that lineage. You can't hide that experience, that OG, the lessons from the beginning that you've learned from not having the equipment, from like, how do I get more? How do I find it? Having a USB that only holds 10 tunes to now having one that holds like hundreds. And all of that, having the CDs, having all the CDs, and then you get a new CD, all of that.
Oh man, I started with CDs. And that's a whole different story, you know, like carrying a UDG bag everywhere, and it was like fucking 30 kilo bags just trekking up and down to and from sets and stuff. I just remember doing all that. I'm so glad that we went into USBs and stuff. Anyway, tangent.
Bro, no. Tangents are good. But no shit. We had across our shoulders. I did because I lived furthest from all my homies. Vinyl bag, and then I'd carry 2 boxes as well.
And you had the crates too.
Yeah, the crates too. But that was like because we're going in for a mixing session, and you need all your tunes because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Wow.
And like we used to get like me and my homie Rudy. We got like pains in our back still. If I carry a bag over my shoulder, there's still that pain there.
I swear, my shoulder alignment's like this.
I thought you were walking weird coming in here.
I don't miss those days, but the struggles were real. The struggles were real. Like, you know, thank whoever. For like technology these days, but basically that's how things started for me. Like, you know, DJing wise.
I love the origin stories because obviously it takes me back to my time as well, and I'm like, I love to hear a fellow craftsman. I like to hear how you've come through. I like to hear how I respect, bro. I like to hear how you've come up because when you admire someone, a fellow DJ in the scene, and you admire their style and their sound. I love to hear where that came from. You know what I mean? Because I know the struggle, I know the walk, I know it's never the same. And I never ever claim to know how hard it was because some are harder than others. You know what I mean? Some people be mixing on belt drives and that, and I'm like, yo, belt drive vinyl decks, bro. I remember I tried it once and I was like, nah. But again, I love to hear those struggles. Because it creates the person you are. And definitely. The sound that I'm hearing, trust me. Just quickly, what's your socials?
Socials, Santerres _. You can follow Tribe as well at wearetribe.au. That's my party. But that's where you'll find my tunes. SoundCloud, Instagram.
So go and search that now. While you're listening to this or watching this, go and search it now. And then you'll see what I'm saying with the vibe. And then you'll see what I mean why it's good to hear the origin story. You're like, okay. That's where the levels come from. And that's how you're able to create such a cool vibe. We said we were going to get into production then. So you got your DJ journey. So you came up, those meetings turned into DJ sessions. Where did production come into this?
Production came in, so I dabbled into it early in my career. I don't know if you remember Acid, the the recording program, the studio program.
Yeah. I heard of it. I never used it.
Yeah, so I used to do like little like mix, like 10-minute mixes.
Yeah.
And I used to put like tracks all in together like through that, like and call it like a live mix, but it wasn't really a live mix.
Yeah.
But I dabbled in that a bit, and then went into Ableton and learned how to do like, cheeky edits, like, acapellas and learn how to do that. It wasn't until COVID I actually sat down and learned how to actually make music.
Yeah, sick.
So obviously, like COVID being a really shit time for everyone, but for me, it was a good chance for me to take a step back from the DJing world.
Yeah.
And really hone in the production world. Like, I had time to sort of go on YouTube and just like sit down and go, okay, how to do this, how to open up a MIDI track, how to map out this and warp, all that jazz. I learned through YouTube. So, definitely COVID, again, shit time. But for me, I really, it gave me a time to really learn how to make music and edits.
I'm for one glad you did, because your edits and your tunes are hard, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Oh my gosh! I was going deeper in your bag today, and I couldn't believe. After today, I couldn't believe I'm not actually following you on SoundCloud. So I obviously gave you a follow. My bad. I apologize.
Thank you.
So I gave you a follow on SoundCloud, and I started diving deep into your bag.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yo.
Man, it's not easy. I wish I could lie to you and say, tunes come out of my head like this and that and the other, but it really doesn't. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because, the worst thing about being a producer is being a perfectionist.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that at the moment.
And it's also with any creative, especially with DJs as well. Like, I see that, like, everyone wants to be a clean DJ, this and that and the other, but it's a whole different level when you're in production.
Yeah.
Like, you hear things that you don't, if I was to show you a few tracks now, I'd be like, I hate this, I hate that, I hate that. And you'd be like, bro, it's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Letting go of that's the hardest thing. And that's why, like, creatively, it's not the easiest thing in the past.
It pushes you out your comfort zone, because you are forced to face your imperfections, and you're forced to, it comes to a point where you're like, if I carry on, it's another 3 weeks of tweaking this, and it'll be pushed back. And it's kind of like, I need to get this out to the world. I need to get this, and I fight impatience. As well as, like, so for my first track, I was learning mastering. I probably like a day into mastering, and I just got cut, and I was like, this sounds good enough on my speakers, and then I just put it out. But I needed to, because otherwise, I'm still learning mastering. It's been like 2 weeks since that tune, and I'm still learning mastering. Big time. I'm still trying to get my ears trained and tweak.
You will never get it. I think when it comes to mastering in particular,
send it off.
Everyone, everyone has different views of it. And you go on YouTube and you see like all these people putting up their master chains and stuff like that. At the end of the day, if it sounds good in the car, it would sound good in the club. And like, you can spend hours on your headphones listening to your track over and over again, but it's not until you actually put it out there that's when you start to get that feedback. And if it's good enough for that, like someone to say, it sounds mad, that's what it is. And trust me, that right there, like what I just said, that's obviously, like, it's taken so long for me to understand that, because I used to sit there and be like, fuck, I don't like this hi-hat pattern. I don't like how this 808's hitting. Maybe I should change the sample. You can go on and on and that, but if it sounds good to you at the start and it feels right, just put it out there, bro. Like, that's the thing. Just let it go. Don't think into it. Just put it out there.
You can do edits afterwards. I look at there's a guy, Charmy, who released Promises. Now, the Promises that you'll find on Spotify everywhere, and the Promises that was released, two different tunes. and it's okay to tweak them to get it out. The main idea slaps,
Yep.
and then tweak it, and then it might take you a year to get the perfect one that you're like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can actually re-release it over the same name,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the new edit. Or nowadays it's a new edit.
Yeah,
You wouldn't do that nowadays. But back in the days, they would just change it. And I remember hearing it one day. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Like, what happened? But it just goes to show that even at the top of the game, producers be tweaking, changing, and doing stuff. And even if it takes them a year, they'll still bring out that right now I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate that because you're already used to a tune.
Yeah.
And you kind of if it slaps, it slaps.
Yeah.
It doesn't need changing.
Yeah.
If it's already doing well in the clubs, it's already doing the scene. You're already FS Green level, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't tweak them.
Yeah,
Leave it. Like,
Yeah, leave it as it is. Yeah.
But have you got any advice for any up and coming aspiring producers?
Just my advice. Starting. All right. So, advice number 1: be patient with yourself. You're not going to get it right the first time. 2: just put it out there. Honestly, like, you can keep, your tracks, and you can keep it, and like, oh, I'm going to save my tracks for another day, or I'm going to release them all together. Just put it out there. Like, you're not going to get better by just holding tracks to yourself. I think a lot of bedroom producers do that. I'm a victim as well. I do it myself. Sometimes I have 3 tracks on me right now that I want to release, but then I'm like, I don't know whether if it's good enough. So, I might sound like a big hypocrite, but that would be my best advice. And obviously, number 3, take time. Take time. You're not going to get it the first time. Time is everything. So if you can space out 1 or 2 hours of your day after work, just before bed, I think that will be the best thing to grow. Like, for me, I used to always get frustrated, but I always gave myself a timeline. I say to my missus, babe, leave me alone for an hour. I'm just going to open up my laptop. If something comes to me, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to give myself an hour. And if nothing hits in an hour or 2, I'll put my laptop down. Nothing worse than trying to push yourself creatively. Everything needs to, I'm not trying to sound hippie, but you need to be, when you're being creative, it needs to flow through you. It needs to be easy.
The other day, I was near burnout stage, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I'm flicking through sounds trying to get inspiration. The worst time. When you're tired, end of the day, it's like you got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies out. They're all working, but some reason it doesn't feel like enough. I don't feel like I'm doing enough.
Yeah.
So I'm there on the laptop, similar thing to you, like, let me just quickly, I'll get some inspiration.
Yeah.
And it does more damage.
Yeah.
If you're not inspired, it's not flowing, it's not working. It does so much more damage to you because then your self-doubt kicks in.
Yeah.
And then I shouldn't be, I've got no business producing anyway, I'm not good enough, all of this stuff.
Yeah. That's why you give yourself a timeline.
Yeah.
Like, your time. Yeah. Like I said, time's your friend. You have to, if you're like working on music for 3-4 hours, that's not healthy, man. You need to get outside. You need to start walking around, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's, and my advice to anyone that wants to do this, be patient. Just timing is everything. Like, just take time, really hone in, really watch YouTube, and like really understand. Like, I used to do like 1 hour session of YouTube, and then a one hour session of just implementing what I learned on YouTube. I was real like methodical with it. Like, this is during COVID too. I was bored out of my freaking brains, Like,
it's true,
but you're always constantly learning as well. Like, I always go on YouTube and just watch my favorite creators do something, and be like, oh yeah, that's another workaround that I never learnt before.
It's true actually. Watching, not necessarily I'd say tutorials, but they're not in-depth ones. It's more just watching people create. This is like T-Pain's a perfect one. T-Pain is so sick to watch. Because he's like, I'm just going to do this with the EQ. And I'm like, whoa, so simple. So simple. He's just moved it over a little bit more or done something. And you're like, to you it would have sounded wrong. But when you see him do it and how he does it and manipulate,
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's some good advice, bro.
No. Trust me, it didn't come easy. It's been a lot, getting frustrated at myself.
Big time.
Yeah.
I'm at that stage at the moment. I've got a couple of tunes, because I'm gaining knowledge. I've got a couple.
Put it out there, bro. You have to put it out there. Just put it out there.
One of them is a heater. It's got that big sound and that big bass to it. I just bought a sub the other day just to check.
Just to check it. Oh wow,
bro. And the bass on this thing. Even B was in the living room, and the drop kicked in, and she was like, "Yo, that's sick." It's just, it kicks. So I'll just send it over to you.
Put it out, bro.
When it's, because what I'm doing at the moment is just sort of tweaking.
Got you.
So, bro, we can't not talk about the Titan that you have in a cage at the moment, which is We Are Tribe.
Yes.
It's an absolute beast of a thing that you created. It's incredible. I can imagine it's a lot of work.
It is.
Because I understand what goes into it. First thing I want to say is mad respect.
Thank you.
We Are Tribe is just, the energy is just amazing. You touched on it earlier a little bit as to how it came about. But let's just talk from idea, conception to first event.
Okay.
How did that come about?
So first, I'm just trying to think back. So basically how it came about was I've been running events for a good while, since 2016, 2017. Obviously being a DJ first and then becoming established and then putting my name towards something. I had a daytime party called Day and Night with a few friends, and that did really well. And then because I was a partner out of 4 people, and I was pretty much a little fish. I was still learning my feet and stuff like that. So, after COVID, I was like, I want to start my own night. I think I'm ready. I'm actually ready to, do everything myself. I built the connections through Day and Night. I built my connections with venues, understanding the back end and, how to run your ticketeers and artwork and how to promote on Instagram and stuff like that. I've learnt all that, and I thought, you know what, it's time for me to do my own thing. So for me, back then, when we first started, there wasn't really much of a market for Afro beats. Then it was there. There was little parties, but from my side of town and my community, there wasn't anything. Yeah. So I owe a lot. Tribe is basically the Timorese community. I'm East Timorese. We're such a small community.
Yeah.
And basically we have really good DJs in the industry, Timorese DJs, Timorese MCs. And I wanted to bring them all together in one spot and throw a party. So they're from some of them are from the north, some of them from the south. I thought, you know what? I'll be mad if I throw a party with my tribe.
Yeah.
Basically, they're my tribe.
Yeah.
And that's basically my missus came up with it. She's like, why don't you call it tribe? And I'm like, hey, because I was thinking I want to play tribal house music. Yeah. I want to play Afro, Mapiano, definitely tribal house. And then Mrs. why don't you call it Tribe? And then it just stuck. And I was done. And obviously as the brand grew, it became into a sort of brand. I've been to Tribe. I've been part of the Tribe. We Are Tribe. Everyone that came was so proud of it. I like to think they were proud of the brand that we've created, because it was never my brand. I always thought of it being a community thing, and it just grew. It was a Timorese thing, and then the Timorese friends they all brought their friends, and then it slowly grew, and then all of a sudden I'm doing 800 people at the door. I'm
oh, wow. Yeah, wow.
I'm blinking to myself. I'm what the hell is going on? Maybe it's manifestation. I don't know what it is, but
I think I get
it's community.
From the outside looking in, it's genuine, bro. And I think that's where you can't hide that. You can't teach that. You can't pay someone for that. You can't do it. That's why I want to be at your events. And it's like, even though I'm looking on Instagram and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that organicness. I'm seeing that translate with the photos, with the videos, with the people just actually genuinely catching your vibe.
Yeah.
Because it goes from the top down. You know what I mean? And you've done the work behind the scenes. You've done all the hard yards, and energy is contagious.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you've created.
It was not easy. Like, you know, obviously, like, especially right now in today's, you know, club culture, there's not really a club culture anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's no association or no loyalty to one particular brand. Brands come and go. Like, you know, from when I started, I can name you like 10 new nights, 10 new brands. Start off really well, but to hit that longevity, it's an actual trek. Like, it's actually... to keep everything fresh and ideas and stuff like that. So I have to give a shout out to my team, like my missus, Ariane, Tessa, like Denzel, like they literally, I bounce off ideas off them and they give their honest opinion, you know. It's a lot of like trek, like there's a lot of like trial and error, I should say.
Yeah.
But I think like, I'm not saying that we've got the formula right, but you know, we're still working on it. You know, it's especially with now, it's hard to keep anything afloat. Especially with alcohol prices being the way they are, ticketing prices, everything's expensive. Like even to run your own night is expensive, and cost of living. I'm not going to get into that whole bag of worms, but like it really, really trickles onto the clubs. And
I think that's why it needs to be. Respect needs to be sort of put on your name, because throughout all of that, you're still managing to create such an organic event, an organic space.
Yep.
And look, there's events that are dying, like you say, left, right, and centre. There's so many dead events happening on a regular basis. I saw a post the other day about someone having to cancel an event. There's not enough ticket sales, things like that.
Yeah. See,
that's happening daily.
Yeah, because I know how much effort that goes into it, you know, like it's, you put your time and effort into something and, you know, you have to get the aesthetics right, but you have to get so many things right in order to build a brand, you know. I was lucky to have that foundation of the community, or the Timorese community. I was lucky enough to have them, to have my back. And obviously I had a name for myself of being established as well as a DJ. I didn't want to tarnish my name, like doing an event like 2 years into my you know, DJ career. You know, I built connections with, you know, different promoters and stuff like that, club owners, and then that's when I knew that, you know, I was ready. But you know, it's not easy, and I appreciate the feedback, man.
No,
I really can't wait for you to pull up next week.
Right.
You know what? Like, you know, I'm a bit nervous because, you know, I'm hoping, you know, everything goes well, because, like, you know, imagine if you guys rock up and you're like, man, this place is trash, man. I'm nervous, but
I'm a bit weird. Like, so I suffer with a lot of social anxiety. To be honest, like massive social anxiety, and obviously drinking and stuff helps, as we know. But as a DJ, people are like, what? But when I go out, I'm always like, I got my little corner. Usually, it's different for like, because I know you and stuff, it's different. But when you don't know anyone and stuff, I like my little corner, and I'm on the DJ. I'm there watching, bro. I'm like looking at what they're doing, if it's a little bit out, and when they're panicking, when they're flustered, all of that. I see it all happening, and that for me is what it's about. As I love the craft, innit? I'm like, yo, even if I'm behind the deck share, I'm just like, oh, how's this working? And even the newbies and stuff, and it's like, because it's good to give them feedback. They love it. They love the feedback because it helps them grow.
For sure.
So I'm all about that. I'm all about like that. And that's when on that note, when I went to an event, Antagonize invited me down years ago. And I went down, he was like, oh, you're on a guest here. So I went down, And again, same thing. I stood in the back and I just watched, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went up to him afterwards. I was like, bro, that was wild. Because it's like, again, someone else who stood out to me is like they're doing that expression, innit? It's the way that you can express yourself with the tools.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's like that language that we speak.
Yeah.
So, and after I watched, I just went over to him. I was like, that was some shit.
No, I mean,
that was
it's
sick.
good, like
Sick.
just speaking on that, like it's good that like with what you're doing, like I saw like a photo of you and your crew, and you have so many people in that crew. It was like a group photo, and you're like,
yeah.
I found that so like cool because like it's one, it's organic, and secondly, all those DJs that are there, they're just starting out, and I know how hard it is. It's such a dog-eat-dog world in the DJing scene, but for you to put something together that you guys do for young DJs to feel comfortable to DJ somewhere, to play what they want. That's special, man. And kudos, man. We need more people to do that.
Yeah. The reason, even I love it because I love to. It's unfortunately it's in my blood to help people.
Yes.
I can't not. So when there's these new DJs coming up and they're like, yo, like, have you got any advice for me? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, I want to play, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, you've got Afro DJs, because they can't get the platforms they need, good Afro DJs playing house and techno nights. They don't know anything about house and techno, but it's the only way that they can express their sound.
Exactly,
So I'm like, yo, how can I get them a platform to play on? It comes back to the OG essence of the algorithm.
Yeah.
And comes back to the craft, innit? Like, I always tell them how to be good craftsmen.
Yeah.
Anyone can press play, and I'm like, I put them up there, and they know when they ask me a question, the answer I give is always about being a better craftsman.
Yeah.
Melbourne doesn't need more DJs; it needs more craftsmen. It needs more people that can compete with us. You know what I mean? Because if the more people compete in the DJ world, if more people can do back-to-backs with us, if more people can make us be like, yo, okay, that's better for us, because then we're pushed. We've got to dive into our bag and go, oh, you're going to make me draw for the mixing.
Exactly right.
So it's like investing in the future. So realistically, it's going to be better for us in the long run. Like, you don't need any more top 10 DJ Mag DJs that are like popping with those commercials. We don't need more of that. Yeah. We need more of those people that are going to make a fucking change.
Exactly. Pushing the scene forward. I completely agree with you.
That's why I'm gassed to see your event. It comes back to what I was saying, because I know when I'm standing there and I'm watching those DJs, I know from the vibe that I've got from you, and I know everything that I've seen and I've felt and everything, the DJs you're going to put on, I know they're going to give that vibe.
Yeah, man, I hope so.
Know.
No.
Like,
I'm really particular. When I'm running events, I'm really particular and really making sure that everything I do and the brand does is purposeful. You know, we're not just doing things just to do it. Like, there's a reason why there's people, we have the roster that we do have, because, these DJs understand that if a sound is not working, they know how to switch it up. They don't get flustered.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things as well, like, the newer DJs need to sort of get used to, because there's got to be times where, you have a mad set list of songs that you want to play back to back, and sometimes none of these tracks are not going to hit. So just to be able to work on the fly, and then with the DJs I choose, they know how to do that to a T, and it's really rare. But
We Are Tribe, do you ever play any of your own edits?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
There's no hesitation there whatsoever. Because I'm at that stage where I'm nervous, innit? So I'm
you
learning.
have to play your own stuff. It's not like to say that I make. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I make tunes for Tribe.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I can't. It sucks, but like a lot of the places I do play at, I can't really go into that bag, because
Yeah. I understand.
Like, the scene's not really. I'm not saying that it's not there yet, but it's getting there, but it's not there yet. But for me, like, I make tunes to play at my events, and basically, like, sometimes, like, I get nervous. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, it's the reason why you do it. Like, the reason why you're making music at the end of the day. Like, you find your purpose. Really, it's one of those things. find your purpose. Why are you making music? You're making music. I make music for my community. I make music for myself, really, and for others to enjoy. Nothing like, you know, like I get a big kick when someone comes up to me and goes, "Yo, I play your edits." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I still get tripped out when I see my edits get played. I don't know what it is. It's like imposter syndrome. Like nah, that's not me. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to gas myself up.
No, but they're good, bro. They're good.
Like Timberland shared my edit of Drop.
Really?
Yeah, he shared my edit.
Wow.
Like it was indirectly. Like
yeah.
It was like this fitness trainer. She put up a video of my edit playing in the background, and Timberland shared it. I'm not saying that I could say that he shared it.
Yeah.
But to get recognized like that, I'm like, is that real?
Right, it's still Timberland shared. It don't even matter in what context. Timberland shared your shit, bro.
Exactly.
That's mad.
And like I saw like my edit being played at the Rolling Garros. Like,
yeah.
what? Like sometimes I had my edits play at like Selection. I'm like, what? What?
Right.
This is crazy. And you know how I know? It's like I get like all these random follows on my Instagram, and I'm like, okay, someone's played my edit somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like. It's mad. It's a mad feeling, but again, it's weird. It's weird. I'm really appreciative. Like, I really appreciate when people come up to me and say, like, yo, I play your edits. You know, because I changed my name as well. People are like, oh my God.
What was your name before?
ESG.
ESG.
Yeah, it's my initials.
Yeah.
But then, like, I had Santon come up to me, like Triple J radio host.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, man, I only just realized you're ESG. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I've always known you as Santerres. I'm like, oh, man. But, like, you know, that changing your name and changing your brand, that's a whole different thing I had to do at the end of the day because,
I know. No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you short.
No, like, because, like, a lot of people, like, say, oh, you know, why did you change your name? Like, and I never really told anyone the real reason why, but I changed my name because ESG, I had that name for, like, 10 years up until that point, or 10 or 12 years, and it was really, like, tagged with a lot of commercial nights and stuff like that, like, a lot of, like, not, like, a very, like, commercial R&B nights, you know?
Yeah, I understand that,
And, like, I don't play that music anymore. Like you were saying before with the house music with you, you know, how you don't really attach yourself with it anymore. I didn't attach myself with R&B anymore. That wasn't my thing anymore. I don't even play that stuff anymore. I don't even listen to it anymore. So I had to make the change, and then for me to make that change as a DJ, I had to change my name, and then, you know, obviously Santerres came about, and originally that was going to be like the name of my EP that I was going to put out, but I never got around to it. That's how Santerres. Santerres is basically my two last names put together.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
See, that was my next question. I was like, yo, how did that happen?
Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah, mate.
What was the moment you thought, oh wow, this isn't an event, like in a good challenge? What, like, where was the moment can you remember the moment where you were like standing there, your events popping, your events kicking, for the first time, and you actually look around and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Can you remember?
I had that twice.
Yeah.
First one was like the very first event that we did.
Yeah.
The very first event was good because my friends were there.
Yeah.
My friends, my homies, you know, my ride or dies, like literally, like they all bought a ticket. They, you know, they didn't want free tickets. They just like, yeah, we buy a ticket to really support you, this and that. That was, I remember that day because it was a day party. And just looking around, I'm like, oh wow, this is like my peoples. Like I got my friends, my homies, and then I got my community here as well. So like that was like a pinch myself moment. I was like, wow, this is crazy. The second time was when we did Berkshire Courtyard, which is the space that we are at next week, and we did 800 people.
Oh wow!
And I was just like to my missus, like, babe, like, there's so many people here. There's so many people here, and like we put this all together, and I was just like, I'm never gonna, like, you know, hopefully one day I'll do it again, but like, it was really surreal. Just to, you know, a lot of hard work, a lot of promoting got into that, putting DJs together, and like marketing and sending out emails and reaching out to DJs, flying DJs in, like the whole logistics of it, and then on the night, just for it to pay off, that was just like a wow. This is
No, it's sick, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm there, innit?
Yeah.
Like one thing I miss with this music stuff more than anything is my friends.
Yeah.
So to hear you talk about your friends and having that moment, like that's probably my number one thing that drives me.
Yeah,
you know,
for
like,
sure.
I DJ'd for years on my own, in my own house, like, with no one watching, no one listening. I wasn't recording nothing, none of that. Like, so the friend element, that's what is always with me. They're always standing with me, my squad, my crew.
Yeah.
And to have your squad and your crew there with you, I can't even imagine that feeling, bro.
Nah, it's a good feeling.
That must have been a moment,
man. It's a good feeling. Like, you know, as time goes on and your brand grows, your friends get older and they don't want to come out anymore.
Yeah.
But the fact
become
that
boring. We all do.
My friends are still
yeah,
fun, but you know, it's just one of those things. Like, your friends will support you for the first two events.
Yeah.
And then they're like this. They do this. This is basically it.
Yeah.
You know, you go off and you know you do your own thing and you grow and you build your own community. So.
Bro, what's harder?
Yep.
Throwing a party that pops off, or finishing a track that you're proud of?
Finishing a track.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, two different hards, yeah?
Yeah.
Frustrating hard.
Yeah.
Running an event. Telling people to come to an event, buy tickets and stuff like that, that's pretty hard. It's frustrating. But, like, it's a different type of frustrating.
Yeah.
Finishing a track, it's like, it's so much, it's hard, and you're only blaming yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, why can't I get this right?
Yeah.
Whereas with the event, there's a lot of things, a lot of variables that can go wrong, and then you can really pinpoint like, okay, that's the reason why I didn't do well.
Yeah.
So it's two different hards, but I say finishing a track is probably more harder because you're in your own head. I literally sit on a track, like, so I'll make a track, finish it, I'll listen to it in my car, and then I won't put it out for a week. I won't listen to it for a week, and then I come back into it. I don't know, I'm weird.
That's good.
Weird.
No, that's good.
I'm weird.
Your ears get used to it.
Yeah, I'm weird. I don't like to hear it over and over again. I even put it on my phone and listen to it on my phone like that.
Yeah.
Like I do those type of things, like listen to the car, phone, and I'll do those things. But the first week I won't listen to it at all. And then when you revisit it, you come up with different ideas.
Yeah.
So,
it's true.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, it helps you, but at the same time, yeah.
On that note with the production.
Yep.
You're surrounded by talent, at Tribe, and you obviously got good ear for talent. You got good vision for talent. Do you ever collaborate with any of them on any
the DJs?
Yeah, any of the DJs or if they produce, do you ever collaborate with them?
Yeah. So Denzel Legrand, like he's a guy that basically was there from the start. And he's a producer. Like he doesn't make edits as much, but he makes music, like tracks with like artists and stuff like that. He really wants to tap into that. But yeah, he's always given me the encouragement, and he's always bounced off ideas. I remember when I was just doing events full time, he used to come over to my house and we'll make tunes for like hours, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I collaborate with him. Manny he's tapping into the production side, and Alita, I think she is. Like, I've got a small crew of DJs that I always keep on.
Yeah.
But I really hope they do. Like the other two, I really hope that they get into production. I always tell them, but you know how it is.
You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Like.
Exactly. You know, it does take some time. Yeah. I have a son.
Yeah.
I have twins on the way.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to tap into the music side of things, because I'm the type of person where I think that creativity is something that flows through you, really.
Yeah.
It's not really like a thing that you can just use straight away.
Yeah.
Like, you can use it in some aspect, but when it comes down to music, you need to be inspired. Things need to be right.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I don't make music in my studio. I make music in my bedroom.
Yeah.
In my bed, literally, like, legs up, headphones in.
Yeah.
Headphones in. And I feel so comfortable doing that. So, collaborating next year definitely will be a thing.
Yeah. There's no. I'm honestly.
I'm not saying like you need to be in the bed with me. No. No, but you know, I think my next move will be collaborating with people.
Yeah, man.
Because I want to do that. I really do.
Congratulations,
Thank
by the
you.
way, bro. Congratulations.
Twin girls, if you're watching this, don't go to bed. You too, Zeke.
Now, do you want to shout out your little man?
Yeah, Zeke. He's he's taught me a lot about myself, and I love that kid to bits.
If you could team up with any artist, dead or alive,
Producer
or DJ for your event,
okay,
because it's like they're two different things. But if you could team up with any, who would they be?
All right, I've got a list.
Yeah.
Producer, you know, Pharrell will be up there. Diplo from the Major Lazer, like Ape Drums from Major Lazer, him too. Sango from Sango. You know.
Sango's hard.
Yeah.
Sango's hard.
I really, really loved his take on bringing ballet funk, urbanizing it a little bit. I love how his production is in terms of mixing the ballet funk drums into hip hop in an interesting way, you know, and using it's just different, you know, like it's so hard to explain it to someone, but I really want to one day get to a point and collaborate with him.
Big dreams for Tribe and yourself.
Yeah.
Is there, like, where do you see yourself going in, let's say, the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself going with your music and We Are Tribe?
For myself personally, I don't know. I really don't know. If I have to tell you the honest truth, you know, like, I've been going at it for 15 years already, and like I love to say that it's got to be forever, but you know, I've done well. Like, I like to say I've done well. The only thing I haven't done is go overseas and DJ and stuff like that. I would love to do that, but where I am in my personal life, I don't think that will happen. But you know, I'll keep on still making music, still making edits and stuff like that, and mentoring. Like, I would love to be a mentor to younger DJs and stuff like that. Yeah. Because I feel like I want to pay it forward. Yeah. Because I had a lot of people look out for me when I first started, and it's only right if I pay it forward, you know? Like, so being a mentor would be one other thing for me. For the brand, who knows? Like, definitely we had dreams of, you know, taking it interstate. We did Sydney. We did like a collab event.
Yeah, I saw the Sydney one.
Yeah,
saw that. Yeah,
Sydney did all right. It's two different scenes, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it is. It is.
The attitude in Sydney, clubbing over there, it's completely different to the attitude that we have here.
It's a bit more controlled up there, because obviously with their lockout laws.
Yeah.
It's
I
a little
feel bad
bit more
for them.
Yeah.
But like, they've got their own communities and stuff like that. There's like Soulmate. They like, big up to those guys there, Jesse and Z. You know, they're doing so well, and I love what they're doing. And then you got like Brisbane, like you got like the Sukasa boys, like you know.
Yeah, they got a good community up there, bro.
They got a mad community up there, like. And then they got the guys in GC. They've got Sonda. Those guys are doing so well. And then Perth have got their own crew, like you know, Solution. So like, there's so many markets now, and like, I love it. I love it. I hope to play at all of them, but yeah, like for us, the aim was to go different pockets, but I think staying in Melbourne would be that, like growing in Melbourne. I've always said from the day dot that I always wanted Tribe to be if you know thing. Like if you go to Melbourne, oh, have you been to an event called Tribe? Nah, what's that? Nah, you got to go Tribe. You have to be a Tribe. That's always been. I didn't want to be like a known name, like oh yeah, you know, like I never wanted it to be like that. I wanted it to be something small. I wanted it to be like for the community. I wanted it to be for like my homies. You know, I've always said that from day dot. Yeah. So yeah, who knows, man? Who knows?
I think you've definitely been successful in having that for Tribe. Tribe's a staple in Melbourne culturally. You know what I mean? I feel like it's great for the up and coming people from diverse communities.
Yes.
It's a safe space for them to be and be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Unapologetically.
Yeah.
Which for some of us coming up wasn't always so easy. Hence why we created spaces so that
exactly right.
it was easier for the next ones.
It was basically what you're saying as well. That was our mantra as well. Like our mantra, I'll show you later.
Yeah.
On our logo, it's called. We say different cultures, one tribe. So we have like a Polynesian market. We have a Mauritian market. We have all these other cultures all coming together. And like when you come to our events, we play that music. Yeah. That's why culturally, like, we want to be like that. Like we wanted to be diverse in a sense where if, you know, you can hear Mauritian music like that your parents used to listen to. You can hear Timorese music. Like, you know what I mean? So that's one of the main things that, like, why I created it. As well, so.
Sick. Well, mad respect for that, bro.
Thank you,
mad respect for that. But on that note, I got a little something for you. I brought. I can't not come and meet the legend himself and not bring him some. So I got your T-shirt, bro.
Thank you.
It's yours. I hope it fits. If it doesn't, let me know. It's a large.
That is my size. Yes, large.
Yeah, sick. Big up.
Algorithm. Big up.
I'll make sure you wash it inside out.
Done. Thank you. I've got something for you as well.
Legend.
As part of the Tribe team.
Legend.
I'll give you. This is the limited run of trucker hats that we designed. So you got the chocolate, and then you got the green and cream one. So
thank you. Respect.
So if you look in the side there,
different cultures.
One tribe.
Sick. Yeah, thank you, my bro.
No, all good, man.
That's cold. Mad respect.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
If you had to pick one other sound to explore, what would it be? And let's keep it a production, because DJing is nice and diverse. But if you had to pick one more sound,
one more sound.
Yeah, like say tomorrow, you're like, right, I'm not gonna produce any Bale, any of the wild stuff. Where would you go?
Man. Yeah, drum and bass, I reckon. Chase the status. I love that stuff. Like, I've delved in it. Like, it's always good to go in between different genres and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've tried it, failed completely, but definitely that would be one. Like, nothing else. Like, I like making my reggaeton. I love making my Afro beats. I'm up here on a Bale funk edits. But yeah, if I had to choose another one, it would be Amapiano. But like the thing is, for me, I'm not from there, so I feel like I can't make that.
But there's an Asian guy who lives in Japan, makes the hardest Amapiano, bro.
Yeah.
The hardest Amapiano. It's got the nod from the Dons in South Africa.
Yeah, wow.
See,
that's big. That is big. Because I know that whole Amapiano DJs, they're very, very tight with who they bring in that circle. So if a guy from Japan can get in, Hey man, you never know. I might dabble in it.
There's also an evolution of the sound. I'll send you some tracks. Some guys in London are making. And again, it's an evolution, slightly faster. Same sort of vibe, but slightly faster, shorter intros. And the UK's just put their own flip on it as they normally do.
All right, yeah.
So there's another evolution of it. So you can even make that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's still...
No, you got to show me. You asking me to do this is giving me like a little bit of encouragement, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, like it's been hard trying to find inspiration and drive to be driven to be doing this stuff more, because like, you know, you've just been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing things like this and you asking me and sharing your praise to me and stuff like that, I really appreciate you, bro.
No, just honest, bro. Honest. No, respect. Respect.
Thank you, bro.
It's all I've done is just I see you, bro. And it's just saying like, yo, what you're doing is sick. And I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just wanted to talk to you, have a chat, and then get to know you, then support you, you know what I mean, be a part of it. And I'm only a baby in this. Like, I've been DJing for years.
Yeah.
But in the Melbourne scene, I'm very respectful of those that have come before. And I'm not claiming to be anything I'm not, and I want to pay the respect where it's due. You know what I mean? You've done your hard yards, and I think I just want to shine a light on that and say, yo, respect. I see that, you know what I mean? I can hear it in your sound, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like, and I think it deserves to be like, yo, this is your moment, just to say respect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Respect, genuinely.
Thank you.
And I hope you continue to do a lot more goodness. I hope you continue to do a lot more with your kids, and they get to see you doing that, you know what I mean? And I hope when you do decide to hang it up, I hope that you are filled with just a wholeness, you know what I mean? For what you've created. This was something genuinely that this place needs, and you're doing it so well.
Thank you.
Honestly, mad respect to you, bro.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to just raving over you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Next week, we're on, yeah.
It's going to be sick.
I'm nervous now, but we'll do it.
No, it's all right. So where can the people find you? One last time.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Santerres_. You can follow Tribe on Instagram as well at wearetribe.au. Find us on SoundCloud, find us on as Santerres. You'll hopefully hear my edits and let me know how shit it is.
Yeah, sick.
But yeah, that's where you will find me.
So you heard the man himself there. I'm MrBrunoJones. This is the Algorythm Radio, and here's Santerres.
Thank you.
And we will be seeing you at We Are Tribe, yeah?
Let's go.
Give them a follow.
Bruno.
No, all good, bro.
My
Mad
man.
respect.
Appreciate you, thank you.